What up, Facebook fam? How you doing? It is Sunday afternoon. What's good with you? I am Kendrick, the sports guy, and you know what time it is? It's time to talk some sports. It is TFG Sports Media, the 30-minute sports talk show, and it is the best sports talk show on social media, and I am your host, Kendrick, the sports guy, and I hope everyone is having a great Sunday afternoon, and we have some beautiful weather. I'm just making sure I'm sharing this to my Facebook so we can chat a little bit, rap a little bit about sports, because guess what? This is the Sunday after Super Bowl 58, and there isn't much going on sports-wise today. The only thing we got happening today is the NBA All-Star Game, and that tips off tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on TNT. And guess what? Ask Kendrick the Sports Guy, is he watching it? You watching this, Kendrick the Sports Guy? No, I'm not. I'm not watching it. No, I'm not watching, and I haven't watched it in years, and will not watch it. But anyway, if you're looking for some sports to fill your sports your need, you got the All-Star game tonight. But we're gonna talk a little bit about what happened last night, NBA All-Star festivities. But before we do that, make sure you come in, like, subscribe to the channels if you haven't already, and share this. Share this to your social media platforms. Make sure you share it. TFG Sports Media, and also Kendrick Sports Hustle. That's SporTZHUSTLE. Make sure you share this to all your social media platforms and comment. I want to talk. Let's chat. Let's rap a little bit about a couple of sports items. Again, we're gonna talk a little bit about what happened last week, and we're gonna really talk about what happened last night. Just my thoughts on this whole NBA All-Star festivities. But again, before we do, make sure you come in, like the broadcast, share the broadcast, and make sure you comment so I know you're watching, so we can talk. Let me know where you're watching from and all that good stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and jump right in this thing. We got to start off not so on not such a good note, because we got to update what happened in Kansas City, Missouri on Wednesday. If you don't know, well, I'm sure most people know by now that the Kansas City Chiefs had their Super Bowl parade on Wednesday, and toward the end of the parade, a shooting took place where people were running, mad scramble. It ended up being over 22 people injured. Um, One woman lost her life, and it was just mad chaos, man, at this Super Bowl parade. And here we go again. Here we go again with the shootings. This is another mass shooting in the United States, good old United States of America. I want to say I read somewhere. I think this is already in 2024, the 40th mass shooting, because I think a mass shooting is defined of any place where there's people hurt. Is it 5 or more? I could be wrong about that. It could be something, but that's considered a mass shooting. So this was considered a mass shooting. Again, 22 people were injured. 11 of those people were children. I think most of those have now been released from the hospital. And one lady lost her life, Lisa Lopez Galvin, who was a local DJ there in Kansas City and was very well liked and very loved. She was a DJ. She did parties and weddings and stuff like that, but she also worked at the radio station, Tejano Music. She did that. And so now you have and she was an avid Kansas City Chiefs fan, avid Kansas City sports fan. So now you have a woman that that was a mother of two, that was a wife that's no longer here because of two juveniles. So that's the update on this story. Two juveniles have been charged in connection with this shooting on Wednesday at the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl parade. Again, that left Lisa Lopez Galvin dead and 22 injured. The two juveniles are being held at a juvenile detention center there in Kansas City on gun-related and resisting arrest charges. And according to reports, additional charges are expected as the police investigation continues. A lot of reports are saying that this started with a disagreement between, I guess, these juveniles, and then they start popping off. You know, the first question is, and we all know is easy, why are juveniles carrying guns? That's the first question. But in the good old United States of America and you know, the good old NRA, it's your First Amendment right. I get that. But how in the hell are juveniles getting access to guns? And you know, we all know the answer to that question. Guns is just as easy to access as anything you want, legally or illegally. You can get a gun. I can walk out my house right now if I wanted to, and I can go get me a gun in probably about 30 minutes. It's just that easy in this country, and that's why you're going to continue to see these type of shootings happen. It's unfortunate that this happened at a parade, a time where the city was celebrating the Chiefs' Super Bowl victory, and then it ends with tragedy. So again, these are juveniles. We won't know their names because you know they're under 17. But could they be tried as an adult? That's a question a lot of people are going to ask, and that could happen. Just depends on the state, the laws in the state of Missouri. So I don't know how that works. You know, the laws are different in each state, but most states, when it comes to juveniles, you cannot be tried as an adult if you committed a crime under the age of 17. Most states. Now it depends. That can change. That can vary from different crimes and what crimes committed. Technically, these juveniles. I mean, one of the charges is definitely going to be murder, because Lisa Lopez Galvin, she lost her life. So it's just a sad tragedy. Unfortunately, we had those children that were injured, and now we got to talk about the trauma that these young children that were hit by these bullets when it comes to parades. I guarantee you, those young children aren't going to be the same when it comes to going to parades. They're going to have to seek counseling. The trauma that has now affected them, as well as the grown-ups. But so this is just a sad thing all the way around. Again, I did see where Taylor Swift has donated $100,000 to Lisa Lopez Galvin's family, as well as Travis Kelce. I think I've seen somewhere where there's been some GoFundMe pages started, and I'm sure the Kansas City Chiefs organization is going to step up and do some things for those injured, you know, for those children that was injured and families that's been affected, especially the Lisa Lopez Galvin family. That's the update on this story. Again, it was over. They said it was maybe 500,000 people at this parade. So just imagine all the chaos, all the running, and all that happened. So we still sending our prayers out to those families that's been affected by this gun violence again. Hope, praying for those young children, their speedy recovery, and definitely praying for the Lisa Lopez Galvin family, as well as her friends and all that, her employer, the radio station, because from all I read, that this woman she had a heart of gold and she loved life. So we're going to say condolences to the Galvin family. Rest in power, my sister. And we praying for the Kansas City Chiefs family as well, because, I know this is a difficult road to maneuver now. You're supposed to be celebrating a Super Bowl, but you're dealing with this tragedy. So that is that. Again, we'll keep you updated on any updates that happen with that story. Now, let's move to something a little bit more lighthearted. Again, I'm Kendrick, the sports guy. Make sure you come in, like the video, like this segment, share this to your social media platforms, and also make sure you comment so I can talk to you, so we can chat a bit. Let's talk about these NBA All-Star Weekend activities that went down Saturday night, if you were watching it. And I definitely was watching. I gave my little take. I went live after all was said and done. But I was looking forward to the three-point contest, shootout, and the three-point challenge. Those were the only two things I was interested in. Obviously, I was going to watch the slam dunk competition, but I was like ho-hum about that. And the skills competition, I was like, I didn't watch any of that either. I think the team of the Pacers did win that, which the All-Star game is taking place in Indianapolis, Indiana, if you didn't know. So anyway, let's start with the three-point contest. I made my predictions. I said my guy from my born city, Milltown, Milwaukee, stand up. I said Damian Lillard was going to defend his championship in the three-point contest, and he actually did, but it was a little bit of drama with that. A lot of suspense, because Damian Lillard had to hit his money ball on the last rack to actually win this thing, because Trae Young had put up 24, and I think so. They were tied, I guess, at 24. So they would have probably had to have a shoot off. By the way, they ended up having to have a first round shoot off because 4 people tied at 26. So they had to have an extra round anyway. So long story short, but Damian Lillard showed his thing. It was Dame time. He did his thing. Giannis Antetokounmpo. I love saying his last name. Giannis Antetokounmpo. He did his thing. It's Dame time. My guy Damian Lillard. He did his thing. He repeated as champion of the 3-point shootout. The original participants was Malik Beasley, Jalen Brunson of the Knicks, Tyrese Halliburton of the Pacers. Again, Damian Lillard, Laurie Markkanen from the Jazz. You had Donovan Mitchell from the Cavs. Karl Anthony Towns he's done really good in this competition. This is the second year in a row. He made it to the finals with Trae Young and Trae Young from the Hawks. So again, I just like the 3-point competition, man. I think it's just a little bit more exciting. I think a lot of that has to do with who I'm gonna talk about here in just a second, Stephen Curry. I think he's brought that long ball shooting is more exciting now because let's be honest, when it comes to the slam dunk competition, I think we all can say, and I can say I just had my 55th born day a couple of weeks ago. And I can say there's not a dunk that I've not seen now. So there's nothing new under the sun that these dunk competitors can do. But we'll talk about that here in just a second. But back to the 3-point shootout. I mean, I think it's just more exciting. It's more suspense. It's a little bit more drama. And these guys are showing how they can shoot the basketball. So I think it's just more exciting for the average fan to watch because the game is about 3-point shooting now. I mean, dunks is dope and it's cool. In-game dunks still is exciting. But when you talk about in this type of arena, when you talk about the All-Star game and dunk competition and all that, 3-point, I think that it just makes it more exciting. And it was a good one last night as far as the 3-point shootout. Again, Dame Lillard, he repeated as champion. Again, I predicted that he would. And he did it with what? 26, I think. Yeah, with 26 points, over 24 from Trae Young. So I think that the 3-point competition, it was dope, and I really enjoyed that. Now let's move to the new one that came into the All-Star Game activities. This was the first year to have the 3-point challenge, where you have NBA All-Star 4-time champ Stephen Curry, who's the NBA all-time leader in three-pointers made, versus Sabrina Ionescu. I think I've been butchering her name. She's New York. She plays with the WNBA New York Liberty, and she's the 3-point leader for their league. Well, I think this came about because I think Sabrina actually challenged Stephen Curry to a 3-point shootout some months ago, and I think the NBA and the WNBA, they came and said, okay, that'd be a great idea. Let's make it a 3-point challenge. And I think it was a great deal. I think it was cool. They made it a 3-point shootout between the best 3-point shooter in the NBA versus the best 3-point shooter in the WNBA, and it lived up to the hype. The thing was, when you talk about shooting, I don't think men doesn't have an advantage over women. I think if you can shoot the ball, you can shoot the ball, regardless if you're a man or a woman. So there's no advantage of a man over a woman when it comes to shooting a basketball. And Sabrina made it tight. She made it tight on Stephen Curry because she went first. You know what they say, ladies first. She went first, and I think she put up 24, I want to say. No, she put up 26. She went first, and she put up 26. And Mr. Chef Curry, he had all the pressure was on him because he went first, and he hit a little bit of a brick right there for a minute. He hit a speed bump. He missed a few shots, and he had to really make up for it on his last 2 racks, and he did. And I think he made all on that 4th to 5th last rack. Then on that 5th rack, I think the money ball definitely helped him. So, but Stephen Curry, he did get the victory over New York Liberty's Sabrina Ionescu, and they gave him the belt. I guess it's the 3. That was the you won a belt. Stephen Curry is now the holder of the 3-point shootout belt. Now, will this be an annual thing at the NBA All-Star Game? Don't know, but he is going to be the reigning champion. So if they bring it back, it'll be Stephen Curry versus Could be Sabrina again, or it could be someone else in the WNBA, or it could be Caitlin Clark. You never know. So we'll see what happens next year. But I think this was dope. I think it was exciting. I was looking forward to this as well. And I think someone said Stephen Curry had to win. I wouldn't say that he had to win, but I do think that all the pressure was on him for sure. There was no pressure on him. If he didn't win, then it was gonna be like he choked, you know. So none of the pressure was on Sabrina at all, and that's cool, But I don't think I would have looked at him any differently if he would have lost. Again, this is just shooting the basketball, and be it, a lot of times women are more technically sound when it comes to basketball skills than men are anyway. That's just my opinion. But again, I just think it was exciting to see the battle of the sexes, as they say, and it was dope. And I thought it brought a little bit of excitement to the Saturday night activity. So salute to both of these competitors, these 3-point shooters. They did their thing, and hopefully the NBA will bring that back. Now let's move on to that used to be the most exciting thing to get ready for, and that is the slam dunk competition. And I'll be honest with you, it has been very, very ho-hum for the last almost 10 years. I would say the last one that I can say, matter of fact, my guy DJ Sullivan, when I went live last night, he brought it up, and I was thinking about it. I just couldn't remember when it was. But in my opinion, the last dope slam dunk competition was in 2014, 2015, when you had Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine going back and forth. And them young fellas, they put on a show. And that's been the best show in the slam dunk. So we're talking almost 10 years ago. Well, on Saturday night, last night, we had the Celtics, Jaylen Brown, the Heat, Jaime Jaquez Jr., Mac McClung, who is the defending champ of the G League, and we had Jacob Toppin of the New York Knicks in the slam dunk competition. And let me just say this. I went into this, I tried to have an open mind, but I was like, you know what? I already know Mac McClung was going to I said he's going to defend his title, because if you don't know, he won it last year in Philly, and he put on the show last year. And if you don't know about this young fella, he can jump. He's done some hell of a dunks. I found him on YouTube a few months ago, and so I knew about him and his dunking ability. So, but I was like, I don't see nobody beating him in this contest, especially when I saw who the contestants were. I didn't know much about Jaylen Brown as a contest dunker. Didn't know nothing about Jaime Jaquez Jr. Didn't know anything about him. And then definitely didn't know Jacob Toppin. Now, I knew his brother, Obi Toppin, I believe that's his name, with the Knicks. He was in it last year. Speaking of which, it was kind of cool. Jacob Toppin actually did a dunk where he dunked over his brother, Obi Toppin. And I thought that was cool. But it was another one of those jumping over a human being again. All these guys did that. They jumped over somebody. I'm like, can we leave that in 2023? Can we leave, when it comes to dunk contests, jumping over people, jumping over chairs, jumping over objects? Can we leave that back in 2023 for dunks? But again, that all of them did one of those. And to me, Jaylen Brown did the funniest one. That definitely was an epic fail. Well, actually did two. The one he did was with it was a pretty nice dunk, but then he tried to incorporate former Celtic D Brown. When D Brown did the dunk, and he put his hand in his arm like that. But Jaylen Brown did that, but hell, he didn't do it until after he had already dunked the ball. So I'm like, what the hell was that? But again, that was one, and I just like, okay, that was whack. And then the second one was when he did a dunk, and he had a glove on his right hand. I'm like, then my little bro, Antoine Banks, he was in my chat. He's like, this dude got on the MJ glove? I was like, man, this dude had on the glove. So I was assuming he was going to go hee after he dunked, but he didn't. So why did he have a glove on his right hand and dunk with his left? I don't know, but I guess that was his way of being creative. I just thought that was hilarious. That was an epic fail. So again, the slam dunk contest, man, Mac McClung, he did his thing. He won it with a 50. He dunked again. He jumped over a human, and a big human at that. Shaq. He jumped over Shaq and basically did the same dunk that he did last year that won it. Same technique. He just jumped over Shaq and did it this week, and it was nice. It was dope. Yeah, I gave it a 50. Yeah, it was nice. But again, the slam dunk competition was anticlimactic. Mac McClung, he won it again. He defended champ. I predicted that he would, and I just think the NBA should think about changing the whole format of this slam dunk contest or even getting rid of it. If you're going to do it, I would say go find some of the best street ball dunkers, YouTube dunkers out there, give them a competition, give them a dunk off, and bring all four of the best dunkers that you found on social media or even on the street ball, and let them compete for $100,000, and then let that be it and give them a trophy. I just think a lot of the NBA stars don't want to compete. That was another topic that was brought up by DJ Sullivan. And if stars don't want to compete, yeah, and the stars stopped competing years ago. I miss the days when MJ and Dominique and all those guys would compete and want to play and want to be in the dunk contest. But I think now a lot of these newer generation of cats, they don't, with social media and being such a big thing, I think they afraid that if they don't win, guess what? Now that video lives in infamy because it's all over social media and it will always be around. So I think a lot of them fear failure, just like LeBron has never entered a slam dunk contest, which I find it kind of funny. But I don't look at LeBron as a slam dunk contest type cat. I'm not saying he ain't creative, but he just doesn't seem like that type of cat that will do something in a competition that'll make you go, ooh. But I do know the two guys that I would think I would like to see would do it. That would be the Grizzlies' Ja Morant and the Pelicans' Zion Williamson, if he could stay healthy. Those would be the two cats that I think if they entered the slam dunk contest, it would definitely bring a little bit more interest. The interest level would go sky high. So again, that was the activities last night. Is going down in Indianapolis, Indiana. It was all, again, I thoroughly enjoyed the 3-point shootout and the 3-point challenge. As far as the slam dunk contest, and it was what it was, and it is what it is, and that's what it's going to be. But tonight, we got the All-Star game, the East versus West. They going back to the old format. They didn't do where the captains would choose their teams. They went back to the Eastern Conference versus the Western Conference, which is cool. And I'm glad they did that. But again, I don't watch the All-Star game because nobody's going to be playing any defense. Nobody's really out there to compete. It's just out there just, show gun and we're running gun. So, but it does come on tonight if you're looking for your sports fix at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on TNT. And then the NBA is on a long break. I think they don't pick up any games until Thursday. So this is the lull right now in the sports scene we got. After the Super Bowl last Sunday, we had the NBA All-Star Weekend. This weekend is ending. And then after tonight, after the All-Star game, there's no NBA until I think Thursday. We got baseball that started spring training, but we got college basketball. They're getting ready to get into conference tournaments in probably about another 2 weeks. They about to do that, and so it's a lull in the sports landscape. So everybody's kind of just, you ain't got nothing else better to do. So you can get the guys can get them honeydews done now, ladies. I know your husbands have been MIA since September up until last week. Now you can get them honeydews where they ain't got no excuse saying that we got a game coming on Sunday. Now ain't no more NFL games until we won't get no more NFL games until the end of August when preseason start. But speaking of NFL, we do have some combine action that's going to be jumping off, and I think next week. I believe it starts next week. The NFL Combine. I think it happens in Indianapolis as well. So that would be going down. So we're going to do our last story. We're going to get out of here for this Sunday. Again, I am Kendrick, the sports guy. Make sure you like the program. Make sure you comment and share this to all your social media platforms. And if you haven't, make sure you subscribe to the channel, TFG Sports Media, right here on YouTube, as well as Kendrick Sports Hustle on YouTube. And make sure you like and follow TFG Sports Media and Kendrick Sports Hustle on Facebook. Now, and we're going to call it a day. EA Sports is in the game, and it is back in the game of college football. It was announced on Thursday that EA Sports College Football 25 will be making its debut sometime this summer. In May, they will be coming back with a release date, and they will do a little bit more, release a little bit more information on that. Now, if you didn't know, EA Sports College Football hasn't been around since NCAA Football 14. That was the last one. I think that was released the end of 2013. Early 2014, and Michigan quarterback Denard Robertson was on the cover of that game. And the reason that they had to cut it because there was some licensing and likeness issues. Ed O'Bannon, former UCLA Bruin, in 09, he sued the NCAA and EA Sports because they were using, for the NCAA college basketball video game, they were using a lot of these players' likenesses, and guess what? They wasn't seeing none of the bread. They were using their likeness and they weren't getting paid. Well, the Supreme Court ruled in Ed O'Bannon's favor, so the EA Sports halted it. Well, now fast forward almost 10 years later, now you got the NIL deals, name, image, and likeness, which went into effect for college athletes July 1st of 2021. So now these players can get paid for their name, image, and likeness. And EA Sports has partnered with a company, One Team Partners, who's a licensing company, and they're going to handle all this stuff as far as licensing and likeness. And even as far as the payment, we don't know that yet. I'm sure EA Sports will make that announcement of how they're going to be paying players in May. But now these players who opt in to being a part of this EA Sports College Football 25, they will get paid. And those that doesn't opt in, those players that don't opt in, there will be an avatar used for them that I actually read. So again, EA Sports is in the game, is back in the game. It's back into college football, college football 25. It will be released sometime this summer. In May, they will make more another announcement to give more details on when the actual release date will happen. So I used to be a big sports video game guy. I kind of stopped. I hadn't played it. I used to be a big Madden guy. Didn't play much EA Sports College Football, but I did play sports video games, and I do know a lot of people did like the college football version of it. So it's good to be back, and I'm happy that these athletes can get paid for their likeness. Because I think of back in the early '90s, we talk about the UNLV running Rebels with Larry Johnson and all those guys, and the Fab Five with Michigan Wolverines with Jalen Rose and Chris Webber and Juwan Howard and Jimmy King and Ray Jackson, all those guys. Those guys should have been able to benefit off of their likeness because those universities were making money off of jersey sales, off of their likeness, those numbers. So again, we're talking about almost 30 years later, the NCAA finally. And I ain't gonna say the NCAA because if you let the NCAA run it, they would still be running it the old way. They would still be letting these universities and stuff fatten their pockets while these athletes that's bringing billions and billions to their schools. They'll see people buying their jerseys and using their likeness, and they can't get paid for it. It was so much that man, if someone bought them a $25 meal, that they would get docked for. I mean, come on. So I'm glad this has finally came around. I'm glad that these athletes now are being able to get paid and are able to leverage and use their name, image, and likeness to be paid for it. So I think it's a win-win. It's a win-win for everybody. So there you have it. This has been TFG Sports Media, your sports show, the 30-minute sports talk show, the best sports talk show on social media. I am Kendrick, the sports guy. If you watch this later, make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you share this to all your social media platforms. And if you got a story idea or anything that you've seen interesting that you want me to talk about, make sure you leave that in there too. Don't have a problem with that. Talking about anything that's something that's, it don't even have to be sports related. It can have a sports tie to it, but it don't have to be sports related. So leave that in the comments as well. And make sure you subscribe to the channels. That's TFG Sports Media and Kendrick Sports Hustle. Need to get those watch hours up. Help a brother out so we can get this thing monetized. We this close to getting monetized. Just need to get those watch hours up. So help a brother out, if you will. And come check out all the other stuff on TFG network as well. We got quite a few shows that will interest everybody, from relationship shows. We got Him and Hers. We got Real Estate Insider Show, where you get to see celebrity homes. We got the Black Hollywood Report that reports on everything that happens in Black Hollywood. We got TFG Ratchet with my guy Lee Black. that does ratchet news, cover your ears, but he gives it to you straight with no chaser. We got a news show, TFG Tonight, with the host Brenton Haynes. I'm part of that panel, as well as Lee Black and Devin Devine. We got a ladies' night show that's premiered a couple of weeks ago. That's geared to the ladies. Sharetta Lee does a great job with that. We got Ego with Vanessa Black, another sister that's her show just debuted a couple of weeks ago. So it's a lot of shows on here for everybody. You can find it. So, go subscribe. Go do a search in the TFG in YouTube. Search TFG Tonight. Search TFG Hims and Hers. Him and Hers, I'm sorry. Ego with Vanessa Black. Ladies First. Ladies Night, I'm sorry. The Black Hollywood Report. The Real Estate Insider. Subscribe to Lamb Levity, all that. It's so many shows. TFG Ratchet, Real Talk for Real Men. Go subscribe to all this. You helping a black company do blacknificent things. So do that for your boy, if you will. And don't forget about TFG Sports Media. Make sure you subscribe to it and watch some of the videos and post it and share it on all your social media platforms. You can also follow me on Instagram. That's Kendrick 1969, and on TikTok as Kendrick Henderson 51. And I'm gonna be doing a little bit more live presence over there on TikTok as well. So come check me out there as well. So again, hope you're having a good Sunday afternoon. Hope you have a great start to your week. Again, we got the NBA All-Star Game tipping off tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on TNT. Again, this has been the TFG Sports Media Sports Talk Show. I am Kendrick, the Sports Guy. We will see you on the other side and on the next show and on the next report. I am out. Peace.